Now, 40 years ago, a single Vulcan bomber carried out the longest distance bombing mission in history. The crew from RAF Waddington in Lincolnshire flew thousands of miles to attack the Port Stanley airfield in the Falklands. The mission was so complicated that 11 tankers were needed for refuelling the planes. And it was all put together in just 2 weeks, with the plane that was about to be retired. It is the most extraordinary story. Gemma Dawson has this report on the anniversary of the Falklands War.
Stripped back and ready to be restored. But 40 years ago, this Cold War aircraft was months from being scrapped when the Falklands War brought a new challenge.
At 3 a.m, the Vulcan bomb aimers saw their target clearly defined below them on radar and released their loads.
The airport buildings were skeletons blown apart by the British bombardment.
A Vulcan from RAF Waddington completed the first raid, attacking the runway at Port Stanley to stop it being used by Argentine jets.
My crew did the first and the last bombing raids down on Port Stanley.
I'd only ever seen World War II movies. I'd never done any bombing like this before or been fired at. As we got closer and closer and closer, the bombs started to fall off. And I was able to, on a little gauge I had in front of me, to see when the last bomb had gone, and I just had full power on and drew the aircraft into a hard climbing turn to get the hell out of there.
The raids had been planned back in Lincolnshire with only a couple of weeks' notice.
We had several problems, really. One was A, where was the Falklands? We never even heard of the Falklands. We thought it might be somewhere near the Faroes at the time. So A, where was it? B, how on earth do we get there? Navigation-wise and fuel-wise, and when we get there, what do we drop?
Nobody at Waddington had ever dropped a 1,000-pound bomb from the Vulcan, and nobody had done any air-to-air refuelling. It was a huge role change.
They used an airbase at Ascension Island as a staging post, using tanker planes to complete a complicated mid-air refuelling plan filled with jeopardy. There was a crew of 6 in these really cramped conditions, and the raid was an 8,000-mile round trip, which took almost 16 hours to complete.
The Ministry of Defence have announced that British aircraft have taken action against the airstrip.
How did you feel when you heard that broadcast?
Relieved, the fact that it actually worked.
I was also very pleased that the way I'd planned the attack had worked out and nobody had got themselves killed.
I think it was a phenomenal achievement. A world-beating achievement, and back then and probably would still be today, to be frank. What the crews achieved, what the ground crews achieved to get the aircraft airborne, what the wider station achieved to deploy those aircraft forward and conduct that mission was phenomenal.
Most of the Vulcans retired from RAF service shortly after the Falklands War, but at RAF Waddington, restoration work is now underway on the aircraft that took part in that first bombing raid on Port Stanley.
We are removing all the layers of paint that it's had over the many years, predominantly so we can have a look at the surfaces underneath and understand what structural work's needed. We're going to repaint it in its original black buck colours so we can restore it to its former glory.
Once complete, it's hoped this Vulcan will be back on display here, remembering the past while inspiring future generations. Gemma Dawson, BBC Look North.
So going left here.
Going left.
And then we are noodle. I'll let this mini come past.
Poodle noodle. Come on then, Antonio.
Banderas. Right at the roundabout. Thank you.
Clear.
Clear.
So you're still happy with the NT 1100, Tony?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, it is the most comfortablest bike I've ever been on. So where are we at the moment? Are we still southeast?
No, well we are. We're heading now. Well, that was north, and we're heading west now, I guess.
West. So that's the thing, isn't it? When I'm Navigator 2, I know where I'm going. Where now I'm just like completely blinded. I don't even know what direction I'm heading.
You look at the sun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sun rises in the east and sets in the west.
West.
Yeah. So from here, your house is over there?
Can't see it.
I grew up in the Middle East, didn't I? So.
Oh, God, yes, so you'd do English, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, I went to an English school and no point learning Arabic.
So you're really an Arab, aren't you?
I'm a wannabe Arab.
So where did you grow up then?
Bahrain.
Ah.
Where were you supposed to grow up?
I was born in Brazil.
Yeah.
My mum and dad are from Sheffield, and they adopted me and my brother from Brazil.
Oh, wow.
Then we lived in Bahrain from when I was, how old? Well, first we lived in Botswana near South Africa. Came back to England for a year or two, and then we moved to Bahrain, and then we came back here when I was 17. So I didn't grow up round here.
So you learned something new.
Yeah. Can't speak Arabic. I can't belly dance. What else can't I do? Yeah, I don't know these roads at all. You'll have to excuse me being a bit dozy.
You've been down here before? I brought you down here when you got your passed your test.
Did you?
Yep.
On this bike?
I won't say on that one, it'd be on the other, was it? Or was
That would
it
have been after I passed my... I got the other one about a year after.
Cool, you and I have been out around here.
Have we?
Yeah.
I know we went to, like, Waddingham. Where have you gone
right. Turn left, yeah, you clear to the right. So far.
Yeah. Still clear.
Clear.
Clear. Car coming on the bend.
Yeah. I'm out. Church brigade. It's a shiny road, isn't it, there?
Well, weird camber there too. Oh, that's cute.
Where about now?
That old fella in his veggie patch with kids playing.
Oh, no. Yeah, come in. Plan, come in. Plan, coming.
Oh, I like a bridge. I like a bridge.
The Humber Bridge is a good bridge.
Oh, that's good. It's over on mine.
Well, I'm looking forward to getting hot wine tonight.
There.
Yeah. Get my big coat on and a glass of wine and I'll be happy.
I must say it'd be rude not to.
It would be really rude.
So we're right, and then we're left.
No, just me. Yeah, we're clear.
We're clear.
Yep, I'm through.
Right. We'll be parting here then. Been a pleasure, Noodle.
Yeah, thanks for today, mate.
Our pleasure. Enjoyed your company, and we'll have to do it again soon. Been a safe journey back, and we'll fill you in on the antics.
Yeah, I'll catch you later.
See you later, Noodle, you big bummer.
Take care, see ya.
See you, mate.
See you, Noodle.
See you, Noodle. Ta-da.
You knobhead.
Oh, that's harsh.
We might have to get out in a few hits on this one. Bloody busy road. In fact, silver carpet right, I think we're alright. We're all on ball.
He's a good lad, he's Noodle.
Yeah, he's a nice lad, isn't he?
Yeah. Eats like an horse, but he's a nice lad.
We're going fairly slow here, right?
Because it's 30 anyway.
Well, it's 30 anyway, but it might just see if I can spot it. There's a great big Avro Vulcan to the left of us somewhere. There, in front of that brick building there, there's Avro Vulcan. You just see it, right? That is XM607, which is...
I can see it over there, look. Craig, look.
I'm looking. Oh, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. So that's XM607, which is the Vulcan that did the very first Black Book mission, which dropped the bombs on Port Stanley runway.
Ah.
So 2 left from Ascension Islands to do the mission, and that was as the backup plane, with Martin Withers piloting it, and his crew.
And this was Cold War, was it?
No, this was the Falklands.
Oh, Falklands.
Guardians think because Falklands are so far away, we'll not defend them, but we're gonna show them that we will. So when you take into account the left from Waddington, went to Ascension Islands, and then bombed Falklands from Ascension, they were at the time the longest bombing raid in history. Oh. And that was supposed to be the backup. It was supposed to take off with the plane, go so far with it, then turn around and come back. But plane number 1 wasn't pressurising cab. So the plane number 1 had to turn back, which put plane number 2 in number 1 slot.
Ah, yes.
So it took something like 11 Victor tankers to refuel each other, to refuel the Vulcan, to get it there and back. Yeah. And they're literally, they're on the way back.
So it was like a relay service, wasn't it, all the way?
Yeah, basically, yeah. When it dropped its bombs successfully, little did they know at the time, but one bomb hit the runway which put it out of action. Because the idea was, by bombing the runway, it meant the jets couldn't take off, and that meant they couldn't attack the fleet, the naval fleet that was coming, you see. So it protected them. So, anyway, little did they know that they'd done that mission successfully, but they're on the way back and realised that they hadn't got enough fuel to get back. It took more fuel than had been calculated, plus on the very last refill, they got filled short on fuel. So they were actually flying in a Vulcan that has never ever been known to fly with such little fuel. It was like new territory. There's never been a Vulcan in air with such little fuel on board.
Fumes.
Yeah, literally, yeah. And you know, everything was kind of looking a bit dodgy, and then all of a sudden, out at clouds drops this Victor tanker, and boss, it refueled them, so they got back.
That's amazing.
And they went on to do more Black Book missions than that, but that was number one. That plane is like, you know, to me, it's the... I don't know what you call it, the holy grail of Vulcans. You know?
So if that refuelling tanker hadn't appeared, what would that have been? That would have been a ditch at sea?
Yeah, it'd have been the air crashed at sea, yeah. But the crew, after they dropped the bombs, they knew, well, before the bombing, they actually did the bombing run, they knew that they were low on fuel. Yeah. And Withers kind of not broke rank, but broke chain of authority and said to them all, what do you want to do? Because normally it's the pilot that makes the decision. Yeah. And he kind of said, look lads, what do you want to do? And they all went, look, we're here now, let's do it. So off they went.
Wow.
Yeah.
The thing I said, Eddie, you got that far already, let's just do it then. We'll take what happens when it happens.
But by all accounts, he knows, you know, that basically he's on a sort of mission of no return, as everything looked to him at that point. And
where are we going here? Right.
We're turning right. He said to co-pilot, he went, oh well, you take over for a bit. I'm going in back for a kip. So, you know, he's thinking I could be dead in 2 hours, but I might as well have a sleep before.
I might as well go fully rested.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Might as well be rested for the next adventure. But for that mission, they'd not done air-to-air refueling. In fact, the Vulcan was literally weeks away from being disbanded altogether. So they were trying to get these refueling probes working again that had, you know, not sort of been used in years.
Go on, it's a filter. This time.
And yeah, you know, they had all this to learn very quickly within a matter of weeks, I think it was. Yeah.
It is amazing, isn't it, how a lot of these missions would have become from history. It's all made up, isn't it? It's like, well, how are we going to do it?
Yeah, that's it, yeah. We've got this to do, how do we do it?
Yeah.
Let's make it happen. Yeah. By all accounts, the end of the probe that they needed, they couldn't, they'd been took off, you see, they'd been blocked up, fueling probes on Vulcans, and they found the part they needed being used as an ashtray in one of the officers' messes. Yeah. Well, yeah, we need one of them. In fact, on the talk we had, Dad, didn't they say as well that the equipment to carry the bombs under the bomb bay of the Vulcan, someone had shadily sold off and they were found in a scrapyard in Newark.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see it? Cathedral now. Where am we now then?
Oh, Lincoln?
Oh, so that's Lincoln Cathedral then. This is the centre of Lincoln, this here on your left.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it, that? Yeah, cool, that stonework.
We're left here for now.
Just go left here for now, and then we can just pull up on left after this. We can just have a quick look at the...
Oh, I'll tell you what, my missus would love it here. Church piggy! Look at that.
Somewhere here. Oh, wow.
That is stunning. That's stunning, that is. Wow.
I'm not sure. I think this is one way, but I'm not sure where it comes out. We can try it if you want.
I ran
Do you want me to go up there?
near the castle.
Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
Yeah, for a penny and for a pound, yeah.
We'll find
I
his
think
way out.
it just follows round.
Does it?
Yeah, I did a race here a few years ago, a running race. It was horrible.
Well, Piggy, that shot's just for you. God, you don't realise how big these buildings are, do you?
No, so vast that.
Yeah.
God, my tyres don't really like staying on these cobbles.
No, they won't do.
They like flipping to the right.
They don't fall over. It's a one way, so it's got to be a way out.
Yeah, it does. It goes round to the right.
You had a tour at Cathedral, didn't you, Dad? You and Mum?
Yeah, on Mum's birthday.
Yeah.
8th of May.
Talk about romantic, eh? Hey. Knows his stuff.
Gorgeous.
We'll talk on this path here a bit.
Yeah, I would say good at left, Gallo.
That's the castle there.
There you go, look at that. Oh my god, like I say, I've not been here.
Just watch the tourist.
Yeah, they'll be like money bikers.
Jesus. Look at that.
Nice, eh?
There you go, Pig. Look at that. You try and find a bricklayer these days, I could do that.
Turn your engine off. People are talking to each other, aren't they? Over the thud of our engines.
We'll stop running if you want to.
So that's the main thoroughfare through that tunnel there. And there's a castle just beyond that. And that's the main courthouse for the whole of Lincolnshire. The Crown Court through there.
So looking at these arches here, that looks older than the cathedral. That looks medieval, doesn't it?
The cathedral actually was the tallest building in the world, you know, at one time. And then I think it was struck by lightning, so they had to lower it. I know some crap, don't I?
Done it, isn't it?
Yeah. Everybody
needs to know something.
It's probably a different... that'll have been probably looked after more than this one, because that looks more washed out, that stone, doesn't it? Eroded, if that's the word to use.
The architecture, it does look more medieval.
Stunning, that is.
I'm hoping we go right at the end, guys, to back to that hotel, to where traffic lights are.
Yeah, I think we can.
So round back a bit, look, Craig, as well. Beautiful, look at it.
Wow.
It is, isn't it? That's the thing, what gets me nowadays is where all that skill, design and architecture has gone. Yeah, it's just non-existent now. Everything, it's just prefabrication, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gone, like you say, totally.
Clear.
There's a car in the distance, but it's going dead slow.
As you said, and all that skill and craftsmanship, you won't find it today.
After we've gone left, on your right hand side is Scampton Airfield, which was the bomber, the proper Scampton Airfield, historic airfield.
So the Red Arrows used to live at Scampton, and obviously the Dam Busters came from Scampton when they did.
Yeah, when I was telling my dad we was coming up here, and my dad said, I'm sure that was something to do with the Red Arrows. Obviously, that's what you've just confirmed.
The viewing bay that they had, because they would fly up here, on and off here. This is end of runway here, look.
Yeah.
As we are now, this is the end of the runway just here.
It's closed down now, though, Scampton, sadly. There it is, look. There's your approach, look. You've closed it.
Oh, right.
In fact, what I did forget to say, back in Waddington, where the Vulcan was, that's where the Red Arrows are now based. Waddington.
Have we all got room, Kev?
Yeah, we can all pull in here, look. Just watch this Audi coming. Does anyone recognise the gentleman in the rusty waist coat?
I'll not answer because I know.
You know, dear.
Oh man, I blocked them stairs, I don't.
Behind us, car, yeah, come behind, Craig, should be alright.
So what's this? Dam Busters in. The Dam Busters in.
So yeah, any guesses who that is then?
Oh. Looks familiar, but...
Barnes Wallace.
Oh!
Inventor of the bouncing bomb, yeah. So this place is a must to visit when you're out our neck at woods.